Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we will be ranking of the APPEND charts in Project Sekai, specifically of the boss charts, which for the purpose of this video I'll say are all of the charts on both the global server and the Japanese server that are rated between 35 APPEND and 37. So let's get into it, starting with the limited version of the attendance force of Hatsune APPEND that was available during a 2-week period of the 3rd anniversary. I do think it's a very fun chart, and the difficulty with intense voice mostly comes in the fact that it's like 4.5 minutes long. And I've actually done a complete playthrough of Intense Voice on my channel where I did manage to survive it, and if you haven't seen it you should definitely check it out. But the main challenge of Intense Voice is really just that it's extremely long. It's only the ending bit, the last 30 seconds or so, that's like extremely spammy. It's definitely a more difficult 35. But definitely not quite enough to be a 36. I do hope that they will introduce more limited time full version of songs in the future, because they're actually really fun, and I would love for them to bring back, let's say, the disappearance of Hatsune Miku, a full version APPEND for maybe 5th anniversary. Moving on to Brand New Day. When Brand New Day first came out, I found it extremely difficult, mostly because I wasn't really used to APPENDs at the time, but once I became more familiar, I guess, with the triple taps in Brand New Day, the song really just became more repetitive, and it's really one of the easiest APPEND boss songs out there, which is why it's going into the bottom of the tier list. I still hate this chart, mostly because I keep saying this, but it feels like a child just spammed notes on the computer. At least that's not really too difficult. Next we have the 3 ultimate context winners. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to say that all 3 of these charts are APPENDs, because really all of them record 4 fingers, so I think the original intention was to make these APPENDs. First of all we have What's Up Pop, which I'm probably going to get some backlash for this, but I do think that it's an APPEND 36. I think What's Up Pop, in terms of survivability, is kind of doable. Like, the first half of the charts, it has a lot of weird techniques, but none of it is particularly difficult. Maybe I've just played What's Up Pop a lot. Other than the ending bit, I do think the chart is very much playable. But then we have a chart that is very much not playable, and that's Yamanabe. Now, I hate Yamanabe. I think most of you probably know that, I've said that a lot. It is a horrible chart, and I think it's a 38 for a reason. The amount of software and speed changes in Yamanabe makes the chart utterly unreadable, and that is a problem, because if you can't read the chart, then well, you can't survive it, which is why I've put Yamanabe in the 38 category. Honestly, in my opinion, this is the most difficult chart in all Project Sekai. I don't think any of the other charts even come close to Yamanabe. Next up we have Jinsei. Jinsei is, in my opinion, a very difficult 37 to survive, mostly because of these stairs. If it weren't for the stairs, then it would be a easy Master 37. Well, easy as in quotation marks. I've heard from a few pro players that Jinsei is significantly easier to full combo than the other 37s. Now obviously I don't know how true that is because, well, I'm not even close to being able to full combo with Jinsei, but from my experiences with Jinsei, I do feel like it is a difficult 37, close to Yamanabe probably, but not quite just there. So I'll rate Jinsei as probably a 37.8, 37.9. But yeah, Fallen, one of the songs from the Kakechuman collaboration, and I do think it's more difficult than Intense Voice, because Fallen has a lot, and I say a lot, of really difficult fingering patterns near the end of the chart, unlike Intense Voice, which is why I would rate Fallen as maybe a 35.7, I would say, probably. Next we have Sage, or Sage. I'm not gonna lie, it is definitely the easiest 35 out there. I know they recently re-rated the 2A36 on the Japanese server, but in case you didn't know, the official ratings in the game are based on full combo rates and not survival rates. So just because Sage is a 36 doesn't mean that it's difficult to survive, it just means that it's really difficult to full combo it, which I would tend to agree. Sage is in fact extremely difficult to full combo, mostly because of the sheer amount of 6-finger techniques that you need in order to do it properly. And then we have Marble Blue. Now, I don't know if I want to put Marble Blue before or after Jinsei. I do think they are probably about the same difficulty. The amount of spam in Marble Blue is honestly kind of insane. Like, you need extremely fast fingers to do Marble Blue. Even though, now that I think about it, I do manage to survive Marble Blue more often than Jinsei, so I'll put Marble Blue there, because I have managed to clear Marble Blue using my full healer teams, but I haven't been able to do the same thing for Jinsei, so Jinsei would still be more difficult. Next we have Jewel, or actually however you pronounce it, I don't actually know. I would say that the problem with Jewel is that the fingering techniques and the patterns are extremely weird and they mess with my brain, so I almost always just die in the first half. And it's coming to the global server in a few days, so we'll see how it goes. Next we have Saishu. It's definitely more difficult than Intense Voice, so I'm just thinking about the arrangement of Fallen and Saishu. I would say Fallen slightly more difficult because I do remember getting multiple runs on Saishu where I managed to clear it with only like about 20 misses, whereas on Fallen, I think on Fallen most of the time I clear it with closer to 30 misses, so I do think Fallen is slightly more difficult. It's very much a very close competition between the two. And then we have the 3 songs from the second Project Sekai Ultimate Contest. We have Okialenaiza, Daijoubu Desu Ka, and Memoria. Okialenaiza is I don't know, I'll put it as harder than Marble Blue. It has a few weird patterns. The first half of Okialenaiza isn't particularly difficult. The spam near the end obviously is one of the fastest spams in all Project Sekai, but if I die on the spam, it isn't because it's particularly difficult, it's just because my fingers aren't fast enough. So yeah, I'll put Organonizer right in between Jinsei and Marble Blue. Daijoubu Desu, I think, is more difficult than Organonizer. In fact, I'm going to move Daijoubu Desu up by one space. I do think Daijoubu Desu is extremely difficult to survive, because I just think there's even more spam in Daijoubu Desu compared to Jinsei. Memoria. Now, I've played Memoria quite a few times, and it's definitely 47 material. It is also definitely the most easy of the 47s, which is why I will put Memoria right near the end of the category. Memoria is a very good APPEND 37 chart. It's a fair chart. There aren't really any crazy spamming that would cause you to immediately lose. It's overall a really nice chart. I hope when they add more 47s in the future, it will be more like Memoria than Daijoubu Desu or even Yaminabe. Okay, finally, Seimei Syndrome. Seimei Syndrome is one of those usual boss songs. I don't think it's harder than Monster Pop, but it's definitely more difficult than Jewel. But yeah, that is all 14 APPEND songs in Project Sekai ranked into a tier list. Let me know in the comment section below how much you agree with my ratings, and leave a like if you want me to do the same for all the Boss Master charts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!